What's up, guys? Welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you your Brave Cross Hero of the Week. This week's Hero of the Week is the swordsmaster Hanzo. Hanzo is classified as a front DPS with ratings of S for survivability, S for DPS, and A for support. His main skill is called Storm Slash, where he deals 1414 damage to enemy heroes with the highest range over 4 seconds. This damage ignores 30% of the defense, targets warriors first. Hanzo and his target can't be damaged or healed by other sources during this time. When the damage ends, the target's defense is reduced by 20% and can't be healed for 3 seconds. If the target has any damage transfer buffs, they will be rendered invalid for the next 6 seconds. Hanzo's crit rate is raised by 20% for a total of 6 seconds. However, this can't be used on targets who have invincibility frames currently activated. His basic attacks deals 150% attack damage to one target in front of Hanzo within 100 range. This doesn't increase the target's range, and for every 3 attacks, he releases a piercing whirlwind that cuts through 5 enemies for 500 range. Targets are knocked away and have their rage reduced by 10. Rage loss does not trigger effects caused by the rage reduction. His talents include the swordsmaster, where he gains 80% crit damage, restores 15 rage after a crit. All damage from Hanzo's ignores targets, receive damage sharing, transfer, and reflection, and can't miss. When Hanzo's attacks heroes with such skills, he gets 60% crit rate, and 180% damage. And it says here invalid against items that have, unfortunately the translation ends here in the game, but if we go to Wikipedia for Brave Cross, it says invalid against items that have damage reduction effects. Attack speed 5, rage 5 are all self-explanatory. And the wind wall, finally, is a 25% bow damage receive is increased. However, when attacked by bows, 40% chance to raise a wind wall for 6 seconds, blocking all bow damage. Only one wind wall may be present at any given time. His mythic ability is called Spectre Sword, where 30% of all damage Hanzo deals, including basic attacks and skills, will be converted into HP. Hanzo's attack speed is increased by 25% for every dead enemy hero in battle. Now, currently, the 6 and 7 stars are also available, but I will be going through them shortly because every 6 and 7 stars ability are all the same for every hero. The only difference is the rarer your hero are, then the higher the buffs, I guess, you get. So for Hanzo, currently he's a rare hero, and for 6 stars, he gets a damage rate, damage immune rate, plus 12% for 6 stars, which is called Valiant Riders. And for 7 stars, it's Winged Tiger, which gives him melee damage immune rate, bow damage immune rate, magic damage immune rate. Winged Tiger, which is unlocked with the 7 stars, it gives him melee damage immune rate, bow damage immune rate, magic damage immune rate plus 12%, and max final damage reduced by 10%. For his unity, there is Fate Nemesis, and Fate Wise, and Fate Excelsior. Currently, only Nemesis is open once you get Cure Knight. However, Wise and Excelsior are currently unavailable because the heroes are not obtainable at this point in time. Now let's go through the pros and cons. As always, we'll start with the pros. Now Hanzo has a very decent amount of defense and HP. His attack is also not too bad, to be honest, and could probably be compared to a normal XMK3. And if you're lucky enough for your enchant, it might be even comparable to Faded XMK3 depending on all your enchants. His DPS, I would say, is pretty decent anyway, even without a good enchant, because of his main skill, which is Storm Slash, where he deals 1414% attack damage to an enemy hero with the highest rage. This is basically saying we're gonna avoid the awakening of this hero. We'll try and kill him first before he gets to use his awakening. Hanzo has always been called a peony killer because Storm Slash will normally attack a warrior first before anyone else. So Peony being a warrior, unable to basically have enough HP, and Hanzo does a lot of damage if you compare him to other heroes, melee heroes in that matter. And of course, his basic attack is really good as well. Even though he does just target one hero for most of the time, every third attack when he releases that piercing whirlwind, and it'll hit 5 heroes. Not only that, his swordsmaster skill gives an 80% crit damage and restores 15 rage for every crit. If you manage to increase his crit more, then he will restore his rage pretty quickly and use his awakening pretty quickly. Not only that, Hanzo also ignores target's damage, receive damage sharing transfer, and reflection, and he can't miss as well. And when he attacks heroes with these such skills, he gets another 60% crit rate and 180% damage increase. However, this is not obviously going to work with armors that have reflect and stuff like that. It only works when the actual hero has such skills. And of course, Windwall is a bit of a give and take. Sure, he'll receive 25% more damage on bow heroes, but he also has the 40% chance to raise a wind wall, which will knock away all bow damage for 6 seconds. That's a lot of time, considering so his awakening lasts for about 18 to 20 seconds. Then taking out 6 seconds of that is a total blow to Sohi's damage. And of course, let's not talk about his mythic ability, where 30% of all his damage will be converted into his HP, and his attack speed is further increased by 25% for every dead enemy hero in the battle. He already has a 25% attack speed increase from his talents, and for every dead enemy hero, he will get another 25%. All in all, there's a lot of pros in getting Hanzo. But now let's go through the cons. The main con for Hanzo is obviously getting his shards, enough to get you to 5 star. With the recent release of 7 stars, it's gonna take a lot of your resources just to get him to 5 stars. And with the recent release of 7 stars, I don't even want to think about getting him to 7 stars at this point in time. So, my final thoughts on Hanzo. Well, I do believe Hanzo has a lot of things going for him. All his skills and talents are really, really good and complements him as a front DPS. Not only that, his defense and HP are pretty comparable to a tank almost, which gives him a good survivability rate. And now with the mythic release as well, he'll be able to get some of his HP back with his mythic ability. PvE wise, I do see Hanzo being able to compete with story mode missions, and of course Legion instances where you will have to do burst damage. Granted, there are probably better heroes in Legion instances that does more damage than Hanzo, but I do believe he still has a place in that, I guess, scenario. The main thing in PvE for Hanzo is obviously in Dominion floors. If you have Hanzo at least on 5 stars and has a good amount of Destiny bonus, you might be able to switch around for the Imperial only um, floors. And I know a lot of people, I've said this in most of my videos recently, that floor 150 is where people have troubles. If you have a very decent Hanzo, you will probably be able to use Hanzo there to kill out that Cure Knight. He does have that burst damage skill ability, Storm Slash, and for a total of 6 seconds, Cure Knight won't be able to heal. So that's that for PvE. But of course, where Hanzo will shine is in PvP. His ability to take out the enemy hero with the highest rage, uh, and of course his talents, which supports a lot of his um, abilities, like I said earlier, being able to reduce 10 rage for every third attack is a huge deal. And of course, Wind Wall will help you destroy. I guess there's that 40% chance, but usually it will activate. So I do feel that even though it's a luck thing, Windwall is a very good ability against people in PvP because people will always have a archer DPS in their team. Now with the current meta, probably not for long, but most of the PvPers will always have a Sohi in there. So hopefully your Hanzo activates that wind wall in order for you to survive and beat the crap out of them. Now with Spectre's Sword as again unlock his mythic ability, he has that 30% chance. I mean 30% of all his damage now will be converted into HP plus that attack speed. For every enemy hero that dies or is fallen, he gets another 25% and you can get a total of 100% if there are 3 heroes dead already in your enemy's camp, which is a huge deal because pretty much his basic attack will be going off every single time, and every third attack will just unleash that whirlwind, which will go through the enemies and get them knocked back, and then reduce their rage by 10, and the cycle will continue. I do love Hanzo in PvP. Unfortunately, with my current ranking, there's just not enough people for me to try out Hanzo because Hanzo dies pretty quick. Well, my Hanzo dies pretty quickly because at the moment there's a lot of 7 stars now, which is pretty disappointing. And I did try fighting him using my friends list, which he was pretty decent, but unfortunately just dies pretty quickly, like I said, because of the current meta where people will have a lot of DPS and Hanzo is just not able to survive that. However, if you're fighting off with someone and if your Hanzo is pretty decent, then I would believe that Hanzo will win that fight. Especially if you're fighting someone with a warrior in front as well. It he just does very good on those situations. Anyway, that's all for me today, guys. Please click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. And please leave a comment below what you think of Hanzo. And if you have tried Hanzo, please let me know how it turned out for you. I do know Hanzo was used pretty much back when Peony was on top, and he was a good counter against Peony and other heroes as well. Unfortunately, as time went by, a lot of people found his shards to be too expensive to be able to keep up with other heroes. Anyway, guys, this is Munchkins logging off, and I'll leave you guys with the rest of the layer video. I'll see you guys in the next level.